that I don't really enjoy playing a whole lot, but watching it is like a stellar experience. I love it. All the different ways you can move around, especially in the lower end of the map.
They're already prepping themselves up, which is going to be an exciting battle. I mean, we've kind of been preparing for this for a while. I think we were actually pretty excited to see this CLG versus Valkyries last time we talked, but I don't know.
Yeah, we failed to mention that they're both #1 and 2 in their groups right now. It's gonna be hard to dismantle CLG from their positions, though. They've firmly cemented themselves as #1 top seed, I think, of the entire NA bracket. But right now, Valkyries are surely taking their time, looking to see maybe where the exit could come in from. Oftentimes, when we see Valkyries just hiding out before their execution, they're just waiting for that CT side to overextend and take those 1vx fights and hopefully ultimately lose it out. But CLG, they're very tempered. They're waiting their time, looking to see if Valkyries will make their own first move first. It's a cowboy. It's a standoff.
And here comes. Oh, there's only one player sitting here, and it's gonna be Goosebringer. I think they're good for 2 here. They're sitting in such an angle. I don't think anybody would expect. Look at that discipline there with Goosebringer.
And that's the last person you want to go up against if you're Valkyries too. Goosebringer, oftentimes, usually the top statistical player for all of these series. Her going down first won't be the best situation to be in, but as 3v4, it's really good for CLG.
Yeah, and you say top statistical, you're not wrong. Always being pretty much the biggest fragger, the biggest damage taker for the team. Goosebringer always there. But the thing is that who's going to be there for the team now since Valkyrie's taking out, I mean, majority of the players here for CLG.
And we talked about Blender. Usually need to be set up here for the post plan. No longer alive, though. A 2v3. Pippi's going to hold down the fort directly on top of the bomb. Good for 1 and annihilates what's left of CLG for round #1.
First round down. Many, many, many more to go. But honestly, that's such a good start. Like, giving yourself a foundation to kind of walk on, especially when something like that happened in the first second. Having a player like Goosebringer take you out and then kind of coming back from that definitely shows how hard you're willing to go.
Yeah, and for the winning condition for Valkyries right now, you need to be looking for rounds to be picture perfect, just like that opening pistol. Oftentimes, CLG, the only time they've really shown vulnerability in these matches have been in the post plants when they're on CT side. Valkyries don't need to take advantage of this, especially with their better weapons.
Already looking up, Pippy Sippy trying to completely chase down. But it seems like CLG trying to play for the retake. I'm surprised that Kaude tried to invest in at least somewhat of a sniper here. The Goosebringer backing off in time. The Molotov coming out to try to subject him to this one area.
Yeah, and just with a deagle too, no less. Gunfights galore every which way we look, but a clean 2-0 for Valkyries.
Look at that. Yeah, giving themselves a ground to walk on, which is great. But here, not really anything worrying. I mean, Valkyries is doing such a good job. I think they're holding so much control. You can see them kind of scattering themselves and using a lot of their util, which I really, really like. And I think that's what's giving themselves, this boost.
Yeah, and the last time I think we covered Valkyries, our big kind of criticism, I suppose, was that, especially on the T side, they were mostly kind of going for these hero plays. They were going by themselves. There wasn't a lot of coordination off of the execute, but it seems like in the last times we played together or we watched them, they've really stepped up their coordination game.
Yeah, like, look at this. Everything coming down
beautiful.
All at once. It definitely feels like a show almost. Everything coming down.
It's all scripted.
Yeah, literally. This is who's the paid actor here?
Oh, I don't know. Who's gonna betray the others? There always needs to be a cliffhanger at the very end, right? But Kyler, I'd be the one in the shadows there. Great counter rotate, Mads falls.
And this is such a dangerous map to play with because there's so many crevices that you can hide. And look at Pippi Sippy now trying to dig into, the shoulders of Goosebringer. And it seems like they're able to. So that 3-0 comes in very, very flawless. But here's where we kind of get that level field of play because we can get the op from Kaude, we can get the M4s, right? And it feels good now for CLG Red.
Yeah, and we've been hyping up Blender too, being like that opping master for Valkyrie side, but Kaude is the equivalent over for CLG Red. Kaude often has that op kinds, the first blood or the opening pick, and then when they fall, it's actually Goosebringer who we should expect to see to pick up the op and maybe find 1 or 2 more. So keep an eye on the op, especially for CT right now, and see where it dances around, but Gowie's wasting no time. They know the op must be out, and they have to take space real quick.
You can see the confidence actually from BB on completely change. Jiggle peeking, trying to take these angles, trying to take some of these fights, and also knowing when to back off, which is great. But with these rifles, at least now they feel more comfortable.
And look at this, though, Valkyrie. They found that opening contact. They back off now, waiting to see maybe what CLG will do to maneuver themselves around. But CLG, pretty par of the playbook, just standing still, waiting for those angles to be held once again against them. But instead, looks like Valkyries, they might be going on a little adventure of their own. They're rerouting themselves all the way back over to A site.
Yeah, completely rerouting the way that their brain thinks. Pippi Sippy sitting along the backside and BB not knowing anything that's going on, but that's okay. I mean, a lot of control sitting down around mid. I mean, at least nothing to worry about just yet. Kelsey taking the first pick, and that's a good one.
Really good. Stalwart, great anchor potential again. Goose Breeder now on the rotate. Does find Pippi. That's going to be the counter rotate now completely gone. CLG, they've gained a lot more map pressure once again. And Valkyrie, they're losing numbers. They're down by 2, but they still have the bomb. Oh.
Yeah.
Possible smoke lineup. Could be huge to disrupt that line of sight for Valkyries execute. 20 seconds left. There's not really much time to move around, but there we go. Oh, the fireworks come out. This is looking great, Gompers.
As good as they can get. Oh, Kelsey's in such a good spot because they can completely peek out once that contact is made, but absolutely no contact because BB takes the fight. And I said, we have that equal playing field now, and it works out so nicely. The peak comes through, everybody playing together. We talked about cohesion coming from Valkyries, but I can see the exact same thing from CLG Red.
Now, I don't want to scare you or anybody else at home, but that last round gave me a lot of glimpses back into the Inferno match on T-side that Valkyries were playing on, where that execute was just so slow. Don't get me wrong, I like the setup, but 20 seconds left, that's what CLG waits for. They thrive in that environment.
They like the very slow pushes. I mean, it gives them more control. Yeah, they're seeing, as it now, I mean, most of the control completely going away for CLG.
Oh no, and Blender returning with that op once again. It's the Cowday versus Blender. Op Fiesta here. Both almost aimed down at each other, but Blender's going to try to disrupt that space with the Molotov, and Cowday from behind. Could be good to disrupt Blender's line of sight and their life.
Yeah, Pippi Sippy left alive. Honestly, Pippi is very big with the clutches, but right now, I mean, this seems almost impossible, right? You got to get past Cowday with the op. You gotta like this in itself is very scary to look at.
She's in a good position. If she pushed up a little bit more, she might have the chance to get the flick, but no, you're completely right. It's too much of a risk. Pippi deciding not to opt to go towards Cowday's direction. Plays it slow. 50 seconds still left on the clock. Plenty to work with, plenty of util as well, and the bomb possession. Sure, it's a 1v4, but Pippi, like you said, could be the clutch master here. As long as she can make her way forward, check every corner, wins out the fight against Goose Breeder.
Oh no. Making the noise. Doesn't even check their backside. Cowday can peek at any given moment.
That's 2.
But that's the first one. Yeah, we talked about Pippi Sippy being able to clutch. Will they be able to clutch up now? This is the biggest damage that they can create. It's so good from Kelsey.
Again, CLG Red, their late game defensive coordination has been stellar. Oh, hello! Oh, hello! That's their 6th person. Oh, that's their player. Beautiful. I think we know who we have to interview after this.
I think so too. And it's not Kelsey. It's the dog. It's the dog.
What do you think their name is?
I think their name is, I don't know. It looks like a Poochie. It looks like Poochie.
Ooh, I like Poochie. I'm thinking more like Rover, but speaking of a Land Rover though, we're cycling our way through an unknown planet on top of A. It's Pondrion Company though. They're not able to make their expedition up forwards. Matt has a great counter angle up on top there, and well, just some pistols in hand.
Oh no, Andrew.
Just for eco. Already finding a lot of info. This is looking a little dire here for the execute, and the round's barely started. Yeah,
and look at that damage, by the way, from the nade. Like, everybody's already almost as low as they can be. It's Andrea and Pippi Sippy getting hit by that, and that collision really just puts them down.
Oh, and you would think that Kyler was going to be able to find some info, but no, instead Kelsey discovers Kyler and she goes down. This is
at least at this point, like with the pistol round, it almost seems impossible to be fair.
Yeah, and this is a pretty exploratory round for Valkyries. They're looking to see those positions. You get an idea about how the rotates will be for CLG. BBion's able to find a 2K in the process there, but last 2 alive are Blender and Pippi Sippy, like you said. Very good clutch potential here. Might be able to take control of A side or B side as well, and looks like they may.
And working up BB on. Nice headshot to kind of finish things off. And it is going to be another win. So 3-3. They've already brought it back in a matter of seconds. Not to mention, even during those rifle rounds, they just had complete control. So I'm a little bit worried for Valkyries pushing themselves forward to continue these rounds, because we know when CLG Red has the momentum, they will never let it go.
Yeah, it's so hard to grasp it back, especially when CLG Red, their biggest strength, I would say, is that they're just able to download the rotations and the timings of their enemy team so well. It doesn't matter if it's T or CT side, and actually the response here is going to be aggression, aggression, aggression. Matt is already ready, but Groove Breeder takes down yet another. It's Trade City all throughout, and well, there's not many survivors on the CLG front. It's a 2-3 here for the bodies that have gone, 2-1 for the bodies that have gone down, but oh, Blender's just barely able to hang on with the help of a smoke nade, but nope. Hiding away, it's Mads instead.
You can see the comms actually going on with the information that they've gathered, but absolutely nothing. They don't even know what's going on around them. At least right here, they have the A site, they have the B site. There really is it's only up to Valk to make their first move. Oh no, but at the top of B, you have to watch out. Kaude perfectly timed with that op, looking for the reposition. This makes me worried. This could be a potential op 1v3, and Kaude's pushing up. Oh, nice smoke, too, to cover them. So Kaude can push themselves back and maybe wait for them to peek through that. And once they do, look at this. Waiting alongside the flash to push back Kaude, and this is good. There we go. Space has been created. Galley and company trying to protect that bomb to go down. The smokes prevent the op to find a proper angle, and everybody else in CLG, they can't push up. No, not as of right now, but it's okay because they're holding the angles. And already, right? Pepe Sippy, by the way, we talked about this. The nade lowering the health of both. Galley down as well. Kyler, the only one that maybe could throw for something. But then the smoke comes out and Matt's taking complete control over again. They slowly work around the extremities of the site. Galley sitting down and possibly getting the first. And the moment they retrieve another rifle to give themselves that reload, it does not work at that moment in time. Kyler left alone. Holiday very, very low, and it's such a good stall, but they're not hitting it. Very, very close and perfect from Kyler. That is such a pivotal round for Valkyries to take away. They're maintaining their lead, not by much, but they're maintaining their lead over Valkyries now. And again, when we say the skin of our teeth, we mean it. That was down to a literal bullet of a difference of either Kaude going for the defuse or bringing it home there. A great tiebreaker for Valkyries. Oh, such a good one, too. They were so close for CLG. I think the riskiest thing there is, kind of just trying to go for the defuse, but the time was so low. It was such a good stall from Valkyries at the end of the day. So what could you do necessarily? Maybe, they just did so good. The flash is coming through, pushing back Kaude, and then you have continuous smokes down so that CLG Red can't even peek to keep the site. Overall, it was such a flawless round from Valk. Absolutely. I love the way the Valkyries are playing around their spacing for the late game. Those double smoke nades that made sure that CLG could not they themselves could not push through whatsoever. Yeah. There's no hero plays coming out from either one of these teams. And again, we talked about that being a common issue for Valkyries in the past, but they seem to have nailed that away. And we're back to another fast round once again, a fast push over towards A, and seemingly no response so far. Attempted shots go through, but Andrea is still unknown, but Mads certainly makes her presence very much known on the other side of that box. You have to here. Once again, kind of leaving Mads by themselves to fend for themselves, and unfortunately so. Can't really do much. Look at that. Mads is so low. It's these lurks that are making me really nervous. One of these lurks will bend away, and it will reveal the entirety of the enemy team. And I'm being very vague, because Kelsey's in a position where she could be discovered. I think Pippi's in another position where she could be discovered too. Galley's already fallen, and Math is unbelievably low. This could turn in the Valkyries' favor so quickly, but they have less than a minute left, Gompers. They have to go for the execute again, but they have to be slightly faster. CLG, they're expecting that late game push again. Will it come? Not so sure. CLG already preparing themselves. And there comes Kyler, being able to get the bomb down, which is great. They push themselves back into the positions for this post plant, but as of right now, the slow work up from Kaude, having the op and taking this retake in with the op as well is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, it's all about the positions here. At least there's a little bit of elevation that CLG can work with. But that bomb timer's ticking away, and there's no thing to stop it other than defusing it. That smoke nade, a little nerve-wracking. Positions possible everywhere.
Nice.
Mads and Kelsey, good for 2 at the very least. There's only one left, and it's Pippi, but the clutch master, she could not do it. She at least found one on the way out.
Oh my gosh, and that was a nice headshot from Kaude too to kind of end things off. But CLG, that was such a good plan. Okay, let's bait the bomb. Let's see what happens here. And as they bait it, Valkyrie, all of their heads start popping out. Everybody holding these different angles. You can see them here, just completely taking that control and watching every single angle known to man. So working out really, really well for CLG. We're at 4-4. But this is insanely close.
It is so close, but what makes me nervous about the closeness of this game so far is that the economy for Valkyries again has been in shambles. They've been going for these force buys, and now they're down to eco again after losing that last round. We could be looking at 4 or 5 once again, and, well, Bibian read into a perfect place. She's good for 2 before Kelsey's there for 2 of her own.
Kyler alone again. And this gives CLG actually like a lead in, by the way, a lead that they haven't even had yet because Valkyries have been really pushing themselves forward.
Yeah, and this has been the battle of aggression. Valkyries, they love to throw their util so early in these eco rounds. It's a perfect read for CLG to optimize themselves to push up. And, well, Kyler, maybe this is a little bit of a stalling time. They just came off of attack timeout into the last round. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of good time to kind of talk between the teams to see, okay, we're doing really good so far. What can we do to bring this 5-5?
Bringing this 5-5? Oh man. This round in particular, I mean, just kind of really pressure back CLG. We talked about the slow plays that CLG really like playing against. We've talked about the fact that, you know, maybe having... Oh, no, they're not even going to be able to do anything. It's a save round.
No,
so
it's another
scratch
one.
that. Whatever I say doesn't matter because I thought they would have rifles here.
I think it matters. But, I mean, we can look at the big picture, right? Sure, the weapons might not be necessarily there, but this is another fast round. You have to try to take weapons away from CLG. Their economy is building up every single round that Valkyries does not have weapons on. And so that means CLG, the potential to have one of those eco rounds in the future is becoming less and less possible. Oh,
right underneath Blender. Listening to the nade. Unfortunately for Pippi Sippy's always getting hit with these. I feel heavily bad for Pippi Sippy right now.
She's a magnet. Mance is going for that pre-fire again. I don't know. Oh, she's ready. Great strafe.
Oh, Maz is so good. Unfortunately so. Okay, that
bomb.
works out. They have the bomb.
You may think that Mads is trapped. It's actually the opposite. The rest of CLG, the cavalry's here to help out, and there it is. Oh, okay. Kaude just wanted to be on the board a little bit.
Yeah, anything's off. There is no 5-5. Unfortunately, it's not even possible, because look at this play from Mads. They miss, and then they just bring out the pistol knowing it's okay at the end of the day. So 6-4, actually, a big lead for CLG Red. And I say big because this is the biggest lead we've got so far.
True. From either one of these teams, really.
Yeah.
And this round is so important. This is one of the last possible rifle rounds that we could see in the wild, depending on how Valkyrie does. I'm looking at Blender especially. That op is not cheap. That op goes down. Even once this round, we might not see it again for a long, long time. The battle between Kaude and Blender will be one to see for a long time, but we'll have to wait to see if they can push up against each other and go down each other's kind of, rifle scopes. But in the meantime, though, CLG, well, they're playing the same exact game. They're just waiting to see the usual spots where Valkyries like the push. Matt has that pre-fire angle and the smokes are up. Should be pretty free for Andre to push up, right? But usually the answer is pretty much the opposite.
I feel like right here, Pippi Sippy does not want to go back in the original spot that they always do due to. Yeah, look at this. All of this util. Yeah, I feel like this is such a good read from Pippi, taking their time trying to work themselves up here. But we talked about time taking. Does it work? And Kelsey being the first one down. Maybe it will this time.
And Kelsey loves to play that counter lurking angle. So now a lot of information for CLG is completely gone, especially with Matt's going down. That would, besides BB, say that maybe A site is in their favor. But Valkyries, again, they're starting to lose bodies of their own. Kyler's down to 13 HP, and Pippi Sippy's long gone for the round.
Hopping through Kaude, trying to find somebody straight through the smoke. and all of the util that you can imagine down. But the thing is that something like this is so dangerous to do because you get the bomb down. What happens next? You have no util to play. Maybe 2 flashes, yeah. But then again, I mean, CLG has absolutely nothing with Kaude being the last one alive.
Yeah, and I think the call here is to go for the save. Plenty of money, for the most part, in the hands of CLG, but a lot of these rounds have been very expensive. It's been a kind of a sleeper sneaking up on CLG, where they're able to win out these rounds. They're able to convert it, not even sometimes losing a lot of bodies, but they're spending a lot every round. And sure, because of that lead, CLG could maybe sacrifice the op, but there's not a lot of money in the possession of Kaude to go for an op if she were to lose it, especially at 19 HP.
Yeah, bomb going down. CLG, they give this round away. I've never seen anybody come this close to CLG ever before. It always feels like a flyby, even in other matches outside of, you know, ESL. It's kind of insane to witness this firsthand, that the CLG Red versus Valkyries. Valkyries giving such a good showing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think going from even the beginning of Season 1 of ESL Impact to now, I would say that you could pinpoint at least 2 different times where Valkyries just completely leveled up, completely transformed as a team, and just getting better and better. We talked about that when we interviewed Pippi Sippy last time.
Everybody gets better.
Just so much better.
Learns, yeah. Especially since CLG is put on a platform, so you want to study. You want to make sure you know the playstyles of these teams.
But you can for Vertigo. CLG Red haven't played on this map yet. This is all uncharted territory.
That is true. Oh, nice from Goose Reader. And they're playing so well into this. They have both angles. They have the top. They have the bottom. So whoever peeks that, I mean, spray transfer can't really come in too soon.
Yeah, Pippi Sippy and Galley now gone. What's left is essentially your core, your execute potential, possibly. Blender and Kaude, we talked about it so many different times. Quite literally does have the high ground against Valkyries, but no. Instead, going to relegate herself away. Kaude has been playing very passively with his op this match. I'm a little surprised.
I'm surprised as well, just as much as you are. I think more so it's because this map in particular is so hard to play with. Like, the smokes cover you up, I mean, as easy as can be. And overall, like, the angles are so tight at the moment you peek. Like this one right here, Mads is going to have to really play this one safe. Oh, this is perfect timing.
Oh, Blender. I was just going to say Blender also been having a bit of a quiet showing here. Finds a great entry back on the A side again, and the execute goes full under. BB's going to try to take the elevated angle. She has the perfect prime position, sneaks away on Blender. He goes on top of a box, finds a second, but Kyler's there to shut her down. Wow. It's far too late. CLG again, just barely holding on with that lead.
Look at that. I'm heavily impressed with that round, to be honest with you. They took that one in very, very nicely. You know, you see the way that plays. It was mostly Mads trying to really bait these players out. Such a good first-hand pit from Kaude. And then look at this for Mads. The first one coming down, they knew that somebody was planting and always planting within that default position. So, I mean, really just reading into that perfectly.
And, you know, across the board, we actually have a lot of really close games in NA today. Even Evil Geniuses versus Hot Flash is pretty close. It's 8-4. It's a 1-round difference between this game. All these teams are now studying EG and CLG so well, and who knows? What can we expect to see for the decider matches, right?
The scariest thing is definitely, you know, playing against somebody right below you, because you never know what to expect.
And Vertigo's odd, because you don't normally have that upwards elevation to worry about. Andrea checking all those angles again, too. Kaude loves to play at the top of B, but it's actually Kelsey this time swapping roles. BB off the corner does take down Blender. The op now gone. Oh, we know this execute. I wonder if Kelsey's ready. Seems like she is.
Oh, yeah.
It's also like a 2v5, 2v4.
Yeah, I can see that. Kaude, completely smoked out. And this is what we talked about. Like, the aggressive angles are so difficult to hold, especially when you can literally just run in the way that Kyler pushes themselves onto the site. There it is for Mads, being able to take everybody down. And that was such a beautiful round for Mads.
And Valkyries, they're headstrong. They keep trying to get this B execute to work. They've only gotten that execute to work one single round, and it was that super close call off the defuse of a single pistol shot there. But again, when you can use the USP this late into a half, Valkyries have been only finding success on A site. I think this is a good time to go for a tactical timeout. They've already used one before. They've recognized the fact that, okay, the slow executes on A site, maybe not working so much, but B site has been more or less sort of a 50-50 endeavor. And I think if we see Valkyries go maybe a little bit faster off that execute, and by faster, I mean like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe a little bit faster, they might be able to catch CLG off guard multiple rounds in a row to close that gap again.
Yeah, I honestly think that round would have worked. The only problem that I saw was CLG Red. They seem like they're getting fed up with the smokes. The way they peeked, it felt like they didn't care. Caliday trying to find a crevice just so that they can peek through. And that's one of the things that you can see out of this. They're getting tired of consistently being pressured back. They want to have that control. So look at that. They take it.
Yeah, and they're also used to the smokes too. The smokes from Valkyrie's side haven't really changed either. So the space is being denied, yes, from Valkyrie, but now CLG are more aware about how they can play off the timings and the spacings to still find a proper angle. Perfect case in point. Andrea hiding behind this smoke. The smoke goes away, and now Mads chooses this time to possibly push up, but she can't find anybody. Oh, there's the reveal. Mads being pressured down to 1 HP, no less.
Oh, Goosebritter has been insane with those. Just throwing it wherever they can and getting such good nades out of it. Such good damage.
And everybody else now. B-site, seemingly seemingly maybe the way to go. Has been a little difficult to say the very least.
Oh, this is good. Playing off the contact. If Gally wants to peek this, I mean, they could say goodbye to their lives. So Gally and Pippi Sippy going up another angle possibly, but also still being cautious as can be.
Yeah, and A-side might be the way to go. They've gotten them slightly mixed up. Oops, my bad. But the op angle from Cauday, perfectly down for the strafe if anyone like Pippi tries to lean by, but that flash might be the saving grace. Oh, maybe not. Popped like a balloon. It's Pippi now left alive in a 1v5. Tried to find some eco damage, couldn't quite find it either. Mads survived that entire round with a single piece of HP.
You know, and I talked about, you know, Goosebritter being insane with the nades, right? And throwing them down almost perfectly all the time and getting tons and tons of damage. I can't even believe it. Looking at the damage that Goosebritter has had the last time they played, it was what? It says 13, possibly 13 players damaged overall. So
that's a lot of players damaged.
I'm just sitting here wondering, because like you have to have so much precision and so much knowledge in order to be able to pull something like that.
What? Mads? Okay, Mads has a wonderful shot. This area on A is like her domain, and she's able to make the expansion so wonderfully well that nobody else has really been able to push up now from Valkyrie. Off the tactical timeout, I think CLG are reading into perfectly what we were talking about on the desk. If Valkyries are struggling to get B-side control, they're going to opt over to go to A. Kelsey and Cauday, great job playing goalie, just ensuring that the execution is no longer viable. So Gompers, you shut down A site, you shut down the B site execute. Where can you go if you're Valkyries from here?
And the only place to go right now is
mid.
Oh, and I feel like they're watching this as well. You can kind of see somebody out of the corner.
Oh,
Goosebritter.
Not even just one,
and
it's
B
two.
beyond, yeah.
10-5 now. Holy. Unbelievable, but you know what? That's okay. We have a whole other side to cover. We'll be right back. battle between two teams that don't definitively have a star player. Everyone pulls up their own weight. A battle of team composition, coordination, chemistry, any other word that could begin with C to describe the amazing abilities of both of these teams. But now the sides have swapped. We talked about the battle between the two offers, Cowardly and Blender, definitively leading the charge. Hasn't really been the case so far for this map, but Valkyries now, they have to bring the charge back 5-10.
Yeah, really close game in the beginning. Initially, oh, the dualies don't work as Callie wants them to. So it gets taken down maybe just a bit too early. And already Valkyries, I mean, they're getting taken down one by one. They're losing so much of that control, and if they lose any more players, right, they might actually give another win to CLG, especially coming in 10-5. The gap is getting bigger and bigger as we speak.
But this could be Valkyrie's chance. One of the biggest weaknesses we've identified with CLG are their opening pistol rounds for both sides. If Valkyrie can take advantage of this and maybe bring this 3v3 down to a 3v0, that'd be the best situation for the dualies. They failed Mads. Back and forth again. The knife straight to the jaw. Andrea falls. The 1v1 now.
Oh, this is so good. 1v1 situations when the bomb is down is probably the scariest moments. Especially as you can see Kyler.
He's out.
Thinking about it. Yep, Goose Breeder's so good with the patience. It really is just about that patience and knowing that you can play these mind games.
It came down to the wire again. We talked about just like 10 seconds ago. CLG, they struggle on those pistol rounds, but the patience at the very end. Goose Breeder just taking her time to go for that final shot, allowing that defuse to nearly go down. That aura of near patience completely destroyed. I wonder how that's going to affect the mental of Valkyries now into this next half.
I think right now what they're most worried about is, you know, having a buy here, because they kind of invested a little bit of their cash into this. Look at Gooseman's just running them down. It kind of feels like we're watching a car show.
No way. I mean, I don't think there's many other players in ESL Impact that have just such a polarizing, dominant attack T-side than Goose Breeder.
Not specifically, but yeah, CLG, they're just thriving here. I think overall, like, their confidence has boosted.
It's soared.
But yeah, I did want to talk about, actually, in the beginning, right? And we talked about this map being unknown, CLG not picking this a lot of the time, and kind of overall, right, Valkyries having some tricks up their sleeve. I think all it took was CLG Red having to get accustomed to this, because originally they felt very uncomfortable with the smokes. They didn't know what to do with this pressure, but they're so good at adapting. Look at the way that things are going now. The 12-5 comes in.
Yeah, and from here, the confidence, like we said, is just soaring. The gunfights have been the biggest strength of CLG, and they're able to just push into a site. Like, it's nobody's business. B-side's already in the control of CLG. Kelsey looking around to see where Valkyries could be, but it was a gamble stack over on A. Nothing but pistols on their side. The bomb already going down. It's a full retake from Valkyries, and this is where CLG shines. They love retakes when they're up against them. And there's nothing you can do about it. Kaude already holding down, playing off of audio.
Oh, Kaude knows. Look at that. Sitting in the back, already a 2K down. And picking up whatever they can. Sippy, trying to hit the headshots. Nothing coming through, but the 12-5 looks more scary as Blender's the last one alive. Listening to the ticking, listening to the footsteps. And as the footsteps come down, it's BB on, turning around the circle.
We talked about how close this game was, how the times were so back and forth so early, but now 5-13. Not only just double the amount of points now that Valkyries have, but almost coming close to eclipsing it even more so. So, what do you do if you're Valkyries? You have your first rifles. This, you know, in terms of what we know about their economy and how they've been able to play it on their T side, this could effectively be their last rifle round in this map if they lose it out.
Last one. The molly down, blocking off CLG from moving any further. But honestly, right here, it's interesting the way that things are looking. They're slowly working their way up. Kyler was just holding this angle. Actually, no, they pushed themselves back to let Sippy take it.
Okay, let's see what Goose Breeder will do on top of this. Again, the rifles are out for Valkyries. We have to keep an eye on them. They have the execute flashes going underway. Valkyrie completely blind. They cannot blind the spacing at all. And Sippy, she's left on an island. Now everyone else on B side, they're getting mowed down. It's up to the runaway from Andrea, but she runs away to the heavens. Now full B side control again. Sippy still in mid.
A spike being planted. Mads gets such a nice headshot down off of Blender. And and they can keep fighting for, I mean, the side as we know it, but unfortunately so for Valk, once again, like it just goes to CLG. It feels like a never-ending story coming into the attack. They haven't even won one round yet.
No, they haven't. CLG Red, they're taking the playbook of Valkyries and they're just ramping it up. They're execute so quick. The lineups of the flashes and smokes completely there. But again, when you isolate players like Pippi Sippy, there's nothing a player like her can do. She's locked away. That's full B-side control for CLG. And every round's been like that so far. Isolation and just forwarding onto a site and taking those gunfights like that, Kelsey! Andrea gone in the blink of an eye.
I think they're just playing right into the hands of CLG, playing a little too typical to the point where CLG can read it. Also, yeah, you're right. It does kind of feel like this deja vu. I haven't seen anything different. BBon has probably shot that ceiling every single round, as I remember.
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, it literally feels like we're repetitively hitting the same things over and over again.
Yeah, and again, CLG, I think their gunfight mechanical potential is just completely unmatched so far. Just able to take fights like it's nobody's business. Only Mads has gone down this round. Kelsey around the corner again. Blender looking for the counter rotate in mid. Won't be able to find too much.
Oh. Again, taken down by Kaude. So Kaude gets a good one. Kyler up above and Goosebreeder watching the angle. Won't even allow you to peek or, you know, get anything for yourself. Your eyes are not ours. But of course, this win is so 15-5. Absolutely insane.
And this is map point now. CLG Red, they only need one more, and then Vertigo's gone. We're going over to Overpass next. Makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
But to be fair, for Valkyries, not a bad map for them either, going to map number 2. Mads popped off the last time we saw them play with nearly a 3.0 KD. But that wasn't against CLG, though.
Yeah, this being the possible this round that we can think of. Mads trying to get something through the smoke to maybe get that success, but absolutely nothing. And taking a different approach this round, which actually is interesting, right? Kaude being that lurker, trying to gather information.
Absolutely right. Bodies just going down left and right. Not too many left alive, though. CLG losing one. Sure, Kaude, the lurker, now gone. A 2v4. Very little util to work off of. Only Kyler has most of it. Pippi Sippy only with a single flash. If Kyler falls, that's all Pippi can rely on.
Not a lot to do right now for Kyler, especially since they're so low. I'd be scared as well. CLG, so much utility that they can use.
Pippi Sippy diff comes out for one, but that's all she wrote. That's map number 1. Vertigo handedly in the second half going to CLG Red's favor.
At first, what was very, very close. Now coming into the 16-5. Wow. I